Hello there. Today I would like to show you my VS Code setup for local and remote development and answer two recent comments under the videos. The question number one, for the bare metal programmers, how do you access the registers directly using Rust? And the second question, maybe you could do one video that shows a debug session with the VS Code. So in general, my idea of using IDE is to keep it simple and minimal. Naturally, there are people and developers who love robustness and plenty of extensions, crazy feature, but it's not me. In my case and my VS Code, I frequently code in 4 languages: Rust, Go, Python, and C. To support myself with these languages, I have 4 dedicated extensions that do a little bit of error checking, formatting, warning generation, and most importantly, auto-completion. When it comes to Go, Python, C, these extensions are very easy to choose. With Rust, there is something slightly different, and I personally do not use the main Rust extension, but Rust Analyzer. I find it heaps better and far more used across the community, even though the download numbers don't reflect that. So let's search for Rust, and as we see, there is 1.4 million for the Rust Visual Studio Code, and the Rust Analyzer has 1 million less downloads. A Rust Analyzer, once installed, it requires a little bit of config or really settings, and in your top directory you need to have settings.json under VS Code folder. You have to list all the individual cargo.tomls and workspace cargo.tomls. I give you an example here. This one refers to cargo.toml, which contains all the member of workspaces. If things are not working as expected, check the Rust Analyzer down here, and it should tell you that it loaded non-zero number of packages across non-zero number of workspaces. If the analysis tells you it's 0, it's most likely something wrong with your settings. And what it could be is incorrect location of your cargo.tom files. So make sure that the Rust Analyzer knows how to find this VS Code. So it has to be nearly at the top of your workspace. It cannot be hidden somewhere inside multiple folders. The beauty of the Rust Analyzer setups are that we can clearly see the types we are operating with. Like in this case, I know it's a peripheral type, I know it's clocks type, delay type. I can go to the definition, declaration, and references of each of the types. So I can click on the delay and go to the definition, and it's going to take me somewhere in the STMF hole into the delay.rs. If I need to go back, I just press Ctrl-Alt-, and it takes me back to the line where I called the definition. Additionally, it provides some of the inline errors and stuff. So let me just change here the line, and we can see nice syntax error pointing me at the correct line. So to answer the question 1, the way I find how to program low-level registers is through digging deep and finding the correct way to obtain access to the registers. Sometimes, however, the docs.rs is a little bit more friendly because it shows you what traits are implemented, and it's a little bit better overview than just going, let's say, here under the definition and finding all the different implementations for the delay. To answer the question 2 about debugging, there is an option for the VS Code to run and debug, but I normally don't do that. To be honest with you all, in 1 year time as I'm working on Rust projects, I did not have a need to do it. Maybe it's because of the great benefits of Rust, static types, ownerships, and the compiler really making a lot of great work to make sure I don't try to make something unsafe or stupid. However, if it would come to the moment that I have to debug the code with breakpoints, I would probably use GDB. The last thing I would like to mention is the SSH extension that I use for the remote SSH, which allows me to choose my development environment without sacrificing my productivity. Sometimes I work with a simple Rust code that I can quickly run and test, and I have my board locally attached to the laptops, but other days I need my desktop, which is located in the office, which does all the heavy lifting for the FPGA bitstream generation, and that needs a lot of power, which means a lot of cores. On a laptop, it takes few minutes, sometimes hours, but on a remote SSH to my desktop, still within the VS Code, it takes just few seconds and it feels very local. That would be all for today. Thank you for listening, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you think that my VS Code setup could be improved and I can make some better changes, or there is something that you would like to mention to the community, please don't forget to leave the comment down in the comment section. So let's toss back to some old video. Maybe we can do something not Rust related. Let's do some Legos, something different this time. Let's see how to build Lego bonsai tree in less than a minute. It took me a bit more time, but that's a nice time lapse. So also a little announcement. Next week I will introduce you to a second series that I'm gonna be doing interchangeably with this Rust embedded. I will not give more details, so stay tuned and see you next week. Bye.